So welcome to the second class of the class 7 science unit 1, that was nutrition, and now today we will be discussing about chapter 2, nutrition in animal. So as you know that we already discussed nutrition in plants in chapter number 1. So in this chapter we only discuss about the nutrition in the animals. So now, as you all previously I have told you about the animals, they are heterotrophic in nature in the process of the nutrition. What is the meaning of heterotrophs? I have already told that a hetero means depends on other for their nutrition. So that's why animal also called as a heterotrophs, because they are directly and indirectly depend on the plants for their nutrition, and also depend on some animals, those depend indirectly or directly to the plant. That means animal eat plants or animals, those depends on the plant. So that's why the animals called as a heterotrophs, and their nutritional process is called as a heterotrophic nutrition. So in this chapter we will be discussing in detail about the heterotrophic nutrition in the animal, and along with the animal basically for human being. So let's continue our topic of nutrition in animal. So let's continue with the current topic, heterotrophic nutrition in animals. So there are 4 types of mode in heterotrophic nutrition. That means in 4 ways the animal obtain their food by plant or any other animal. So we will be discussing every heading one by one. So first heading is the herbivores. That means those animals who feed directly on the plants or their product. That means herbivorous animal can eat only the plants or their product like leaves, roots and fruits, anything that is a plant product they have. So herbivores are those animals those feed on a plants and their product. For example, commonly herbivorous animal like cow, sheep, goat and deer. That means these animals only have plant and their byproduct. Second heading, that is the carnivores, those animals who directly feed on by killing the other animal. That means these type of animal kill the other animal and have their flesh as a nutritional component. So that's why they called as a carnivore animals. Common examples are lizards and tiger and lion. These are the common carnivores animal. There are many more examples you can discover by yourself. And the third heading, that is omnivores omnivores animal. That means omnivorous animals feed on either the plant or animal. That means they can have plant also and they can have animal also. So omnivores, that means they can have all the type of the nutrient component. That's why they called as a omnivorous. Common example are man and owl, and sometimes as a peacock also an example of a omnivorous animal. Fourth and last heading, that is the scavenger animals. That means those animals who feed on dead and decaying animals. That means they directly feed on the dead and decaying animals. For common example, that is vultures, crows and jackals. That means sometimes the carnivorous animal kill the animal and left the some part of the animal, and other animal which feed on the dead and decaying material, that are called as the scavengers. Common example are vultures, crows and jackal. And here is a one more heading, that is holozoic nutrition. So what is the holozoic nutrition? So in this heading, the herbivores, the carnivores and the omnivores collectively, their nutrition is called as a holozoic nutrition, because they take food is the as a whole. That means they take a food whole and then process it to gain their nutrition. That's why they collectively called as a holozoic nutrition. But scavenger are excluded from this category, holozoic nutrition. So there will be 2 more heading we will be discussing in further section. So there are 2 more headings, that is first one is ectoparasite and the second heading is endoparasite. So what are the ectoparasite animals? So those animals who live outside the body of the other animals known as the ectoparasites, and they gain their nutrition by sucking blood outside the body. That means they present outside the body of the other organism or animal and suck blood directly from their blood vessels to gain their nutrition. That's why they called as a ecto means outside, or parasite means depends on other animal whole and soul for their nutrition. That's why outside the body of the animals by sucking the blood outside the body. Common examples are those insect like ticks and mites which live on body of the cattle and suck their blood. And the second heading will be endoparasite. Endo means simply, endo means inside, and parasite means already I have told about whole soul depend on their nutrition for whole soul depends on other animals for their nutrition. So inside, that means those animals present inside the body of the animals and gain their nutrition from alimentary canal of those animals or any other organism or organs of that animal. So gain nutrition living inside the body. Common example like worms that is present inside the stomach and sometimes intestine, like roundworm and flatworm. These are called as a endoparasite. So these two headings are also important in the classification of nutrition in animals. So ectoparasite and endoparasite. In continuation of this section, we will be discussing in the detailed nutritional process in animal, what are the various steps in the nutritional process, and detailed in human nutrition, that is human digestive system. So let's discuss about the detailed nutritional process in animals. So despite the fact that there are various types of animals and the process of the nutrition is different, the main nutritional process is commonly in all the animal. It is included by 5 steps. So there are 5 steps in the nutritional process, or steps in the nutritional process. So gradually we will be discussing one by one these steps and what are the process occurring in this type of in these steps of nutrition. So first step is called as a ingestion. Simply that means whenever any animal takes food inside their body is called as a ingestion. That means taking the food inside the body of the animal. So the food can be taken by the single cell animal like amoeba or paramecium, and sometimes by human via mouth. So simply ingestion means the process of taking the food inside the body of the particular animal. And again second step, that is called as the digestion. Digestion means the simple mean of digestion is to convert foods. The food material we are having contains some kind of complex material and insoluble material. So the digestion means we inside the body of the animal we convert these food items, complex and insoluble material, form into the simple substance that can be absorbed in the further process. And how can we able to do this type of digestion? Via the use of the digestive juices and various types of chemical substance also called as the enzymes. So via the use of the enzymes and the digestive juices we digest our complex food substances into the simple food substances. Further, the third step is called as the absorption. So in absorption steps we already converted our food into the simple substances. In this process, simple form of the food is absorbed by the body, mainly by the small intestine and some by the large intestine, and it is transported in the various parts of the body via the blood circulation and other body fluid circulation. So that means when we are complete the digestion of the food, then it is absorbed by the organs, various type of organs like small intestine and large intestine, and it is transported in the various part of the body of the animal via the circulatory system or blood and other types of the body fluids. And the fourth step is called as a assimilation. The assimilation process includes, that means when we absorb the digested food and transported into the various parts of the body, then the component that is absorbed by the digestive system utilized by the various cells and tissue present inside the body, and in which of the process it is utilized, that is for the purpose of the growth of the animal and the production of the energy. That means the substance that is transported by the transportation system is utilized by the body in the cell and the tissue for the purpose of the growth and the energy. These substances converted into sometimes fat and sometimes proteins. These two components stored in the body for the further use for the process of growth and the production of the energy. And the last process in the nutritional process steps is digestion. So what is the mean of digestion? That digestion means when all the process have completed, some food substances cannot be digested, those are called as the undigested food, or which food that is no use for the body. That food is thrown or disposed of from the body, and the process of disposal of the undigested food outside from body to the outside area, that is called as a digestion. When the whole process of the nutrition completion, the some food component left out undigested, and the process of removing those undigested food component is known as the digestion. So these are the steps in the nutritional process in various organisms: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and lastly that is digestion. In further section we will be discussing about nutritional in the single cell organism like amoeba and the nutrition in the human being. So today we will discuss about the nutrition in the single cell organism like amoeba. So in this we discuss nutrition process in the amoeba. So what is amoeba? It is a animal. And what kind of animal is amoeba? It is a single celled microscopic animal. That means the whole animal is composed of just a single cell which can't be seen by the naked eye. That means you can see only by the help of a microscope. That's why it is called as a microscopic animal. And its shape is not definite. That means it has an irregular shape. It continuously changes its shape because of the process, and generally it is found in the ponds and the lake. That means it is a aqueous animal. That means it only lives on the aqueous medium, that is in the water. And which animal does it on feed? So basically it feeds on microscopic algae, and algae we already told it's a microscopic small plant. So mainly amoeba feeds on the microscopic algae. Those are the microscopic plant. So in a general view we will, the amoeba looks like this shaped. Already told that it is irregular shaped, and it is a single cell organism. That's why the whole organism or animal is made up of a single cell. So various parts of the in this main part of the cell is called a nucleus. That means nucleus is the important part of the cell which controls all the metabolic process involving amoeba, and it is surrounded by the two layer of the cell membrane. It contains a granulated cytoplasm. That means its cytoplasm contains some kind of a granules, and the most important organ is called as a lysosome, which help in the digestion of the food. So lysosome contains various types of digestive enzymes and chemicals which help amoeba to digest its food. So in further section we will discuss the complete nutritional process in the amoeba, and how it can take the food, digest the food, absorb the food, and how can it eject the food. So by step by process we will discuss in the nutrition in the amoeba. So now we will discuss, that is nutritional processes amoeba. How does amoeba gain their nutrition? So firstly, amoeba, whenever the amoeba senses some kind of food particles around it, it produces some finger-like projection. So this is amoeba's irregular shape when forming a finger-like projection, and these finger-like projections are called as pseudopodia. So these finger-like projection is formed by amoeba whenever it senses the food particles around it, and by the help of these pseudopodia the food particle is entrapped in the cytoplasm of the amoeba and making a food vacuole. So whenever amoeba form a pseudopodia, it covers around the food particle and made a food vacuole. So the food particles come inside the cytoplasm in the form of the food vacuole, and the lysosome that already present inside the cytoplasm attaches with the food vacuole for the digestive enzyme. It contains the digestive enzyme lysosome and help the digestion of the food present inside the food vacuole. And when the food is digested, it is absorbed food from the food vacuole inside the cytoplasm, and it uses by the organism. And the undigested part, what undigested part is not digested by the lysosome, is thrown out of the cell membrane of the amoeba. So here the complete process in the nutrition in the amoeba. Firstly, it senses the food, produces finger-like projections called as the pseudopodia. It make around the food particle and convert it into a food vacuole inside the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm food vacuole is contacted with the lysosome, and the digestion process starts. And when the complete food is digested, it is absorbed inside the cytoplasm, and the undigested food is thrown out of the cell membrane by the cell membrane inside the amoeba. So here is the whole process. Cyclically I have shown about the nutrition in the amoeba. So in the further part we will be discuss nutrition in the human being, that means complete digestive system in the human being. So this is the first part in the nutrition in the animal completed, and in second part we will be discuss about the digestion in the human.